I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Imagine if a journey wasn't about discovering new places, but about rediscovering a lost part of yourself. It's not about who you're heading toward, but about who you want to find. That night, it wasn't just a flight that took place. It was a shift in the heart of someone who had always been in the spotlight, Jungkook. In the K-pop world filled with camera flashes, fan speculation, and an unceasing rhythm, there is one thing that is rarest of all: silence. And it was precisely in that silence that the most human story of a global star named Jungkook BTS began to unfold. Some time ago, as the world slept in silence before dawn, a small yet significant event took place. There was no official announcement, no leaked schedule, no airport selfies or mysterious posts on Weverse. Just a black sedan gliding slowly along the back entrance of Incheon Airport, a gate typically used by executives or VIPs seeking to avoid the spotlight. A figure emerged from the car, hooded, head down, and walking quickly as if time were demanding something long overdue. He didn't look back, didn't speak, and didn't request an escort. That figure was Jungkook, but the public only found out hours later, when it was already too late to guess. What made this journey more than just an ordinary flight? 12 hours after the quiet departure, a Twitter account named @StarChaser89 suddenly appeared. No photo, no identity, no followers. But with just one sentence, he wasn't flying alone. He was on his way to someone who had once changed everything. It was time for the truth. The account then posted flight details: Korean Air K011, departure at 6:10 a.m., destination Terminal B, LAX, Los Angeles. All the data matched, too perfectly. Fans quickly realized this wasn't an ordinary fan. This was someone who knew too much. And then came a blurry image: two figures standing on the roof of an old building in downtown LA. One resembled Jungkook in an oversized black hoodie, and the other was taller, facing away from the camera. The location? Recognized by fans as an independent music studio building once used by a Korean vocal coach in America, a mentor who had gone off the radar since 2015. Who did Jungkook meet? Theories began to surface. Some believed it was someone from Jungkook's trainee days, an old friend who knew the struggles of a 15-year-old when he first joined HYB. Others speculated it was someone who had almost derailed his career, or perhaps saved it. An old forum from 2013 resurfaced. In it, an anonymous user claimed to have been a trainee and witnessed how Jungkook nearly gave up. But then he was persuaded by a friend who said, "Don't run away from the pain. That's where your true voice will be found." Could this meeting be a reunion that's been awaited for over a decade? A phrase that haunts him again. In a 2017 interview, Jungkook once said, "There was someone who believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. I hope to meet them again and thank them properly." Back then, fans simply dismissed it as a sentimental statement. But now, those words feel like a hidden clue, as if Jungkook had been preparing us to understand that one day he would return not to a place, but to someone, or something he had left behind. What's most surprising isn't what happened, but what didn't happen. No statement from HYB. No clarification. "No, I'm in LA, post as usual." Jungkook remained silent. But sometimes, in a world that's too loud, silence is the loudest sound. Silence is a form of processing. And for someone who grew up surrounded by expectations, a packed schedule, and camera flashes, silence is the most honest place to heal. Jungkook didn't fly to America for a show, not for a project, not for an album, and not for the fans. Perhaps for the first time in his life, he was traveling not as an idol, but as a human being. As John Jungkook, the boy from Busan who once had a simple dream: to be good enough to be heard. Perhaps he didn't meet anyone that night, except the shadow of himself that had once been lost in the chaos of popularity. This journey is a reminder that even a star as bright as Jungkook carries wounds. That fame doesn't always go hand in hand with happiness. That behind the thousands of cheers and stage lights, there's always a dark space that can only be touched by the courage to be silent and feel. Meanwhile, Impact inside and outside. HYBE, ARMY, and the public. Internally, rumors are circulating that HYBE management did not expect Jungkook's sudden decision. Some forum insiders mentioned that this departure was not part of the official itinerary. This means that it was a personal decision. The company has chosen to remain silent, perhaps as a form of protection, or perhaps because they too have no control over such a personal and deeply personal decision. Meanwhile, ARMY is divided. Some fully support Jungkook's decision to take his own healing space. They post encouraging words, creating positive trends like, "Your silence is your strength." Even stars need to rest their light. However, others are beginning to feel anxious. Why is there no news? Is this a sign that Jungkook is starting to distance himself from the spotlight? Is this a sign of the end? Every idol has a moment when they must pause and ask, am I still singing for myself, or just to survive in others' expectations? And perhaps for Jungkook, that night on the roof was his turning point. We've seen too many stories of idols losing themselves. Some struggle in silence. Some choose to leave the industry. Some are too wounded to return. But Jungkook? He didn't choose to retreat. He chose to dive deeper into himself. And that's far more terrifying. Some psychologists within the ARMY community have proposed an intriguing theory that the figure on the roof might not just be someone from the past, but a symbol of decisions, a symbol of unresolved trauma, a symbol of the part of Jungkook's life he's kept hidden, whether out of guilt, loss, or love that was never expressed. Sometimes we don't return to fix something, but to make peace with the fact that not everything can be fixed. Perhaps that meeting wasn't about repeating what once was, but saying goodbye in a more peaceful way. Jungkook, the golden magne, Korea's golden child, the world center. But after that night, maybe the world should start seeing him not as the perfect product of the K-pop system, but as a human being learning to recognize and love himself. He is not just a singer. He is not just a member of BTS. He is someone who has given so much to the world and finally took one step to make space for himself. What really happened that night? We may never know, but maybe that's not the point, because not everything needs to be known. There are things that can only be felt. And maybe that night was about letting the heart lead, not the camera, not the fans, not the label. Because behind the stage, the spotlight, and millions of followers, there's a man still trying to embrace himself in the place where he once felt lost. And if you've ever felt that way too, then maybe the story isn't just about Jungkook. Maybe it's also about all of us who are searching to return to the part of our hearts we once left behind. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to Top K-Pop for meaningful narratives like this. Not just news, but stories that bring to life the deepest aspects of the K-pop world. Comment, after all this, who do you think Jungkook actually met? Or was it a part of himself from the past?